Hi everyone, we are back today for the third episode where I edit your photos. If you like this series, don't forget that you can send me your raw photos at contact@louimagin.com and you might be in the next episode. So I have this photo here that I opened in Photoshop. It's a photo from Nacona Nix, so thank you for sending me your photo. So it's a photo in Prague. I really love this city, by the way. It's the perfect city to take beautiful photos. So that subscriber sent me this image. So before editing it, I would like to talk about composition. So it's not a photography YouTube channel. I don't talk a lot about shooting. So far, I don't talk a lot about how I shoot, what are the rules to shoot, because it's more focused on retouching. But to have a good content to be retouched, you need to have good photos. And here, it's a good photo. I'm not saying it's bad, but the problem is more the composition. Because I would say that here, the first thing that we look at is, I would say, this part of the image. So let me just see. I would say this part is the first thing that we look at in the image. Is it the most interesting thing? I don't think so, because it's kind of empty. Like all this part of the image, for me, it's a bit boring, I would say, while this part of the image is the most important, the most beautiful, the thing where we could do something with this image. So I wouldn't have shot this photo this way. I would have loved if this part could have been in the center of the shot, or maybe at least somewhere here, so we don't have 2/3 of the image with emptiness and 1/3 that is completely on the left where interesting things are happening. So even if we do a great edit, the image is not great because the interesting parts are not in the right place in the image. So this landscape, cityscape here with a bridge and some cities here made me think about a shot that I took in Budapest. So I'm going to show you. So it's of course edited already, but here, so I'm going to extend it. So here we have the bridge that takes the almost whole image. Then we have the moon that lights the tram, and we have the bridge that takes almost the whole image, and then we have some cities here and the river here. And we have those plants here that are not really necessary, kind of like on this image, like those plants are not necessary. They are there where we are not going to remove everything because that would take so much time. But at least on this image, the main subject takes a big part of the image. Then we have another small subject here, and to emphasize it, we have the moon that is right on top of it, and that is kind of lighting it up. And those parts here are in the middle of the shot. So it's very easier for the eye to focus on this, then see the bridge, and then we see the city and the sky. So I'm probably not the best to explain composition thing, but here everything makes a bit more sense. While here the eyes comes here, then you go on the side, and we don't really understand how everything works. So it's just a quick intro to tell you to really try before editing. The editing part is very, very important in my opinion. But if you mess up with capturing a good composition, then there is not much that we can do, except if we were making a compositing with multiple images, which is not the case here. Yeah, that'll be hard to make a great photo out of a photo where there is no composition at first. So here we could eventually change the composition to something like that. Let's see. That would make a bit more sense. We could eventually even crop this bottom part here, and that could be a bit nicer. But then we lose a big part of the image. But I think it's, that could be a great way to start retouching this image. Okay, so let's see what we can do quickly to retouch this image. So I opened the raw image and we are going to start making some adjustments. I didn't open the image before, so everything I do is live. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm really just playing around with the slider, as I say every time. Okay, there's something I would like to try, is to have very bluish temperature and then go to color mixer, saturation, and take the saturation of the blue down. It could be interesting. I'm mostly looking at this part of the image because as we saw just before, I think I'm going to crop it that way. So we can actually crop it now. Okay, so this is before, this is after, and it's not good news because I prefer the before photo. So I'm going to fix the geometry and then go back to light and return some whites. Okay, I want this yellow here that are more orange to be lighter in color, less saturated. So I go to color mixer and I'm going to take down the exposure of the orange. And same with the yellow. The yellow I like it because it affects more this part, while the orange affects this part, so okay, it's great. So here we mostly fixed saturation and light, there is not much styling. Let's go to color grading, add some blue in the shadow, even though it's already very bluish. Here I'm just doing a split toning like most of the time. Okay, let's add some vignettes. Okay, so I'm playing around with the effect. It helps to give some style to the image, I would say. Okay, I'm gonna add some filters and do radial gradients. So I'm gonna start with that. Okay, so I'm gonna add some light in the middle of the shot. Some more yellow tones, some more saturation. Yeah, I'm gonna add some texture, not too much. Okay, we're gonna have to do something with this color when we'll be in Photoshop. Then I duplicate and invert the mask, and I'm going to create another kind of vignette. This time I add some more blues, saturation down so the eye focus a bit less on these parts. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Before and after, it starts to look a bit better in my opinion. Let's take this one and do something more like that. So it's really focused only on the city parts here and not too much in the sky. Let's go back to color mixer and see if we can, yeah, it looks better. Reduce the saturation of those lights here. And I'm going to add another radial gradient on this building here. I would like it to have a bit more character, so the eyes focus on that, because everything is kind of, it looks like there is no 3D, there is no dimension on this image. So okay, so I'm going to open this image in Photoshop now. Okay, so what I want to do is to add some stars. So I'm just going to use the easy way. So you use a normal brush, 100% hardness, white color or kind of pink ones, and you just add some dots. find some bigger dots, maybe 3 pixels. If there are some that you don't like, you can just erase it. Okay, let's add the moon. Okay, I'm going to erase this. This star here is distracting, and we have our small moon. We can reduce the opacity if we want to. Okay. Nice. Now I'm going to call it stars and moon and clean the image quickly. So I'm using the remove tool and just cleaning some stuff on the water. Okay, nice. I think that's it. We are not going to over complicate it. Now what I want is this image is that we have more 3D, that it looks like there are different layers of building. They are not all at the same level. So let's see. So we have this building, then we have those one, but then we have this one, then this one, then this one. So we want to see this a bit more. So I'm going to create a layer and brush with some color that I'm sampling here. Okay. And I'm going to brush. So it gives a kind of a fog effect, and then with a mask, 100% flow, I'm going to remove this fog effect from this tower and this one. So it will give the impression that those towers are closer to us from compared to this building here. So I'm doing this quickly because otherwise the video will be way too long. Okay, so before and after. Maybe we can duplicate it, and on this one, on the one here, we're gonna delete this building as well. All of those ones. So there is like 2 levels of fog. The one that is very far from us, and the one that is a bit closer. So you just create an atmosphere, and it helps to create dimension in the image. Okay, nice. So I'll show you before and after. Here we don't want it to happen here as well. You can reduce the opacity a little bit if it's too much, and before and after. Before and after. So now I'm going to add a curve. So I'm going to create an S curve. And now hue and saturation, I want to reduce the saturation of the blue. I'm gonna add a color balance because I want to work a bit on the green. Okay, so it looks a bit weird for now, but don't worry. We are going to fix that after. Okay, so if you are not happy with the color, you can just click on this little arrow. Then I'm gonna go to shadows and green. We need to do something very subtle. Maybe some yellow. It looks really nice when we add some cyan in the neutrals. Here I'm using a selective color adjustment. So here we really have a nice look. Let's see, let's go back to camera raw. I'm going to convert it as smart object, filter camera raw. Let's play around again. Duplicate and invert mask, and I'm going to try something. Here I don't guarantee that I'm going to keep all of that, but I'm trying some stuff. Okay, I'm adding some yellow to desaturate the blue a little bit. Okay, it helps the eyes to focus more on this part. I'm going to create a linear gradient, add it here, exposure down a little bit. I'm gonna use the clarity down and the haze maybe. I think I desaturated the blue a tiny bit too much. So this is our image before and this is our image after. So I wasn't super happy with what I got, and Nacona Nix is a recent student of mine and I like to do always more for my students, so I decided to go a step further, working locally on the colors and do a bit of dodge and burning. Let me know if you are interested on this technique. And I think it gave a bit more character to the whole image. Well, if you like this video, please push the like button and don't forget to send me your rose to maybe be in the next episode. See you in the next one.